Podcast, baby! Episode 67. How exciting.
That many.
We are joined by our first guest of the kind of the new era of the Vibe podcast, so that's bloody exciting. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Izzy, it's your boy. I'm here. I'm queer. Izzy, last name redacted for poetry. How you going?
Is that a question to us or the listeners?
Either. Tell me
How
how
are
you
you
going.
going? Leave a comment about how you are.
Yeah.
Jason.
Hello, I'm here too.
Woo!
No, you're not.
Yeah, leave a comment. Anyone leave just one comment would be good, or a like or something. Please validate us.
We did get a comment on the last one,
Did
but
we?
it made no sense.
I haven't looked at it.
So I just wrote pardon question mark, and they never got back to me.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And they weren't very serious.
I mean, yes, no, I saw that. Yes, because I'm a good vibe union person.
I feel like it was a butt. I'm pretty sure it was a
Yeah.
butt.
like the sex bots?
It could be a sex bot.
Because like all these people that keep liking my Instagram posts
Yeah.
are like in bikinis and lingerie, and they have weird names and hardly any followers. And I'm like, oh, at least someone's liking my stuff. But you don't look real.
You'd want it to help the algorithm, but I'm pretty sure because they're fake, it hurts it because they don't actually interact properly.
Yeah.
Which is a nightmare. I've been getting a lot of followers on Reddit now because Reddit's going through a whole bunch of
Oh, that's
things.
right. Yeah.
And now I'm just getting
Some
sex
weird-
bot after sex bot after sex bot following me. And I thought, like, oh, my Reddit's finally popping off, even though I've never done anything on it. People just enjoy my comments. I get it, you know. I'm a wise guy.
Sex bots.
But it's sex bots.
Right.
It's just sex bots.
Well, before we get started, save the sex bot chat for the topic. Before we get started, though, I just wanted to acknowledge the custodians of the land, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Shut up, Rye. It's important, as I say, every podcast, it's to understand that we are conducting ourselves on stolen land. Sovereignty was never ceded, treaties were never signed. First Nations people's voices have been silenced throughout history and even up into this day. So, and also I just want to acknowledge the Palawa people of Lutruwita, which was the First Nations people of Tasmania, where I had the unfortunate experience of growing up in. So
There'd be some nice walks out that way, though.
yeah, the good walk is onto the boat so you can fuck off.
Yeah.
And your mother and your cousin who are the same people. Yep.
I mean,
I have friends from there. I
It's
know what it's
convenient
like.
when buying gifts and going
Hi, cousin,
to...
mum,
Auntie, mum,
and brother, dad.
uncle, dad. Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but anyway.
I think, first of all, what we should talk about is this. This is an audio
Do you want me
format,
to-
so we will describe
Do you
what
want me
I'm
to put
holding.
it closer to the...
Yeah.
I'll do this.
For viewers, you can see it.
This.
For people listening, we're
I
holding
hope
a
I hope
book.
that's in frame.
We're holding a book. We're at Radio Bar, where we do Radio Talk, which is a poetry night. Best poetry night in all of Melbourne, maybe the world. I've not been to the world, so I don't know.
I went to the world once, didn't like it, came back.
Yeah, 100%.
It's too much
Coffee
world.
was
Went back to
shite.
Tasmania.
There was too much world. Yeah, I missed cousin dad and mother bro.
There's a great game I played. What was it called?
Speaking of incest, yes.
But there was a character called Mother Father, and it was like, it was both, and it was like a big bird thing. It had tits and a penis, and it was spoken like it had a male and female voice at the same time. It was weird. It was confusing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So
Sounds
fair.
good though.
I wish I could remember what it was called, and it might give it some more context.
I love some people's Google search now is going penis-titted big bird.
I'm just thinking of Big Bird from Sesame
I'm just thinking
Street.
of
with, like,
I'm now
boobs
just thinking
and
of
a dick.
Sesame Street fan fiction.
Yeah. It was a very sexual show.
Snuffleupagus,
Oh,
Well, he was imaginary, so I don't
God,
know.
he-
Yeah, but
know what
Oscar
to
is
do.
really grouchy.
Yeah.
We don't know why. Yeah, we know why.
You know why he's in a can? Don't want to see. But anyway,
Jason, what is this before us?
the book that
Yeah,
we
the
just
book.
talked about. Didn't you just talk about it?
No, we didn't talk
No,
about
let's talk
it.
about the poetry
So
night.
book?
Book.
Book.
Good.
Read book. Good book.
Good book.
Our book.
Moving on.
It's been an interesting start to
Might
the
be
podcast.
the worst. I'm no better, but you might be the worst marketer I've ever met in my life.
Sorry. Buy book.
Bible.
No, so we have
Self-help book.
buy book
Probably
of
not.
sad words.
I mean, it's how we all help
Anyway,
ourselves
so this
by
book that
writing
we
poetry.
have, that Rye used to keep interrupting me. This is why I can't do it because you keep interrupting me.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's
Oh,
my
absolutely.
It's your fault. Yes.
Go fuck yourself.
Anyway, so this book here is an anthology
Wow.
of 20 amount of poems. I think it's 6.
Does it say anthology in there? Because when I was writing the post about it, I was like, this is an anthology.
We definitely know because we're professional.
I don't think it's in
No,
there.
it doesn't.
No.
No, what? Maybe at the back. I don't know.
That's great silence.
Yeah, it is, buy it and you'll find out if it says it in there. Anyway, yes, the book is called Chaotic Musings Volume 1. Which means it might be volume 2. Who knows? Will there be one? Anticipation.
Not after this. No.
See, I don't know. We didn't know really where we got the word chaotic from. It just sort of you never guess.
It fits.
But yeah, essentially, it was an idea we had all the way back in December.
This is already filthy.
Well, because we.
Because that's what we are here.
Yes. Have you been to a poetry night? Anyway, it was an idea that Vibe Union, or Ryan and I had. Back in December last year?
Fucking ages ago.
Yeah, it was December last year, and sort of just we should try it, see what happens.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it for a long time, and then we would eventually fuck it, let's try, and we tried, and we've this is the triedness of. So yeah, we contacted a bunch of people, obviously, and then I think we've talked about this on the other episodes about the ordeal that we had. Of just them deleting our account.
Did we actually talk about that?
Yeah, because you. I think.
Fuck Ingram Spark.
Yeah, because you
I'm
said
not
that. You're like, oh, I don't care about outing them. Fucking Ingram Spark. So,
Yeah, they're trash. They're trash
yeah, they
people.
really are.
Garbage people.
But yes,
I think they're just their systems suck, and they're
Like a publisher.
Yeah.
Well, it's a self-publishing.
It's like a self-publishing thing.
So you self-publish, you do whatever, and you
Yeah.
just send it into basically bots that.
Sex bots?
Maybe sex bots.
Maybe.
But essentially, it kind of just feels like it just goes through a conveyor belt of robots that just make sure it's not horrible, like Nazi propaganda and stuff, or like some
we snuck
horrible
that
stuff.
in at the back.
Yeah, we use the stickers for that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you read the first letter of every
yes.
sentence in my poem, it spells out some weird shit.
But yeah, so. We here at Vibe Union do not endorse any type of totalitarian regimes.
No. Unless of like a communist nature or something like that.
Sometimes.
We're not
Never.
going down. We're not going down that road. Fuck off.
I watched some great videos recently. Yeah, they fucking suck. The system in which you actually build the book, because you can upload like a PDF and whatnot, and then it might get processed. But that's also apparently a nightmare from what I read in the forums. When you go to like build your book, like we would make updates, and then we would log back out, come back in, and the updates wouldn't have actually saved, and we have to do that multiple
No, the
times.
updates were like happening on each computer because we're using the same account on different computers.
Yeah.
So I'd edit something, and then you sent me a message going, "Did you do any of the edits that was?" I'm like, "Yeah,
So
I did them all."
We
and
might
then,
be outing ourselves as we're the idiots who broke their system, and it was actually entirely our fault.
No, maybe it's not you.
It should be a bit
Can
more
we
robust.
just blame someone else right now?
Yeah, 100%. It's not our fault.
No, not at all.
The book
No.
exists, though. The book exists.
By book, good book. So yes, was that good enough?
That's
Ryan?
great.
Was that cool?
That's great. I'd buy it.
Buy a book, special deal.
and also,
special deal, you get one book for one price. That's it.
$20 actually. $20.
Also, Izzy is in the book as well.
Yes. Hi. I'm in the book. That's why I'm endorsing it. Otherwise, it's trash. No, I'm joking. No, it's good.
But yeah, is that enough for the book? Or
Yeah.
you wanna...
you can buy it online, can't you? Can
so,
you buy
yeah.
physical copies online through their thing?
Yeah, Amazon.
Oh,
you can
cool.
buy that.
Is there digital copies as well to
Yeah.
purchase?
Yeah. So you can, but there's an option on English Sparks. You can, for the price of, so you can either do just physical copies, online copies, or a mixture of both. If you do a mix, or if you do both, it's the same price as just doing a physical copy. So you might as well do that. But then there's a cost with the ISBNs, which is those numbers.
Yep.
And that costs a lot of money. That's the
all the monies. Yep.
Well, if you want to get 10 and then costs about $100 odd to get 10 of them, because they're like, well, you're a new publisher, so you have to pay more money. I'm like, it's a
To be fair, but like publishing anyway, you know what? Let's not get. This is riveting. Anyway,
Let's argue about monies.
All the links are in the description. That's very
Are they?
big. So
You've said that for a few things in the video.
Shall I
so I looked
point
down the links and
downwards?
there's nothing there.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might be in the link. Who knows?
Leave a comment about what links I was supposed to leave, and I'll leave them in there.
If you're not a sex bot, yes.
If you're not a sex bot. Well,
if you're a sex bot,
No, yeah.
If you're a sex
not
bot,
click
they
on
can-
my link, bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
if they are still commenting something worthwhile, like, hey, you said that you would do a thing and then you didn't.
Look at me naked.
And also look at me naked.
Where's the book? Also, me naked. Hello.
Have you seen this picture of a bird with tits? Speaking of AI,
Brilliant.
Good segue,
Is that-
Jason.
do you have a continuation from that?
no.
Last time you opened the poetry night with a poem written by AI.
Oh, that's right.
Talk about it.
So I did a
He
poem.
just threw to you. Mad.
I caught it. Yes, I did that. I did what Rhath said.
Jesus Christ.
So I had an idea because I hadn't
Yeah.
used Chat. Is it GPT?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
And I hadn't used it before. I think I used it once just to see I think you mentioned something about it.
Yep.
And then I was like, I don't want to use it because I'm
Yep.
scared. I don't know. It might say something. It's like I don't know. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Let's just see if they can write a poem.
Yeah.
So I was just because the week before whatever we had a lot of people like to our musician. I think it was Hoych. They were like, just some sad melancholic music,
Yep,
right?
yep,
It was
yep,
a lot of the themes. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do often.
I was like,
Whoops.
I was like, write a sad melancholic poem about mental health, and it and I did it once and it rhymed, and then I'm like, okay, we'll see if non-rhyming still rhymed.
Okay.
So it doesn't have it. Well, because I think that's people's perception of poetry outside.
Yeah,
it always
sure.
has to rhyme. But it doesn't, obviously. If you look in this book, good book by book, not every poem rhymes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, fuck it, let's just... And it just keeps going. And then you just have to press stop. And then I had a poem. And I was like, it was annoyingly good for someone for starting out poetry. You'd be like... If someone went up there and was like, this is my first ever poem, never done poetry before, you'd be like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it's not brilliant, but it's not
Yeah.
bad compared to like what I did when I first started. So
Well, it's going to make... Like, that's the problem. That's the thing with AI is that it's regurgitating stuff that already exists. So it is going to create very mediocre, middle of the road.
but it was very much blanket statements. There was no... Obviously, it wasn't... It was just talking about mental health as in like a blanket umbrella thing of...
Yeah.
you know... I don't know, but I can't remember any of the lines. But yeah, it wasn't mentioning any specific scenario, situation stuff. It's very surface level things.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first I'm hearing about this, and it's bothering me already.
Brilliant.
Now I have something to say. One, mental health. There's no blanket statements for mental health unless you're a white old psychiatrist working from the DSM, which I did a poem about once.
I had one of them once, yeah.
But I have been a writer nearly my whole life, and I stopped writing for over a decade because, and I don't mean to offend, my Asian parent in my brain was like, you are not good enough. So I stopped writing. So I've spoken to this to Asian psychiatrists before, and they understand what I mean. So I stopped writing, and I've had to start again. Well, I didn't have to start again. I started again because of Vibe Union, and I started writing again.
What?
Yeah, what? New shit. The problem is, though, it was so hard for me to start again, and it's like writing isn't necessarily an enjoyable process for me. It's sometimes like gut wrenching, and because my stuff is usually quite close to home, it's personal, it's filled with emotion, and the idea of a bot creating poetry is insane to me. What's the point? What's the point of it?
Well, I definitely don't think they intended it to write poetry when they built such a machine.
Why would you bother building such a machine?
Yeah.
What is Jason doing?
So I was trying to find the poem but I think I might have just got rid of it because I didn't need it again. So I was just like,
Because it was probably trash.
no, it wasn't great, but it was, it's things like, a mind that thinks so bleak.
Yeah.
When they're in the darkness that all they think they can't be strong, they're only weak, and I'm like, it's kind of like crypto bro stuff. It's like, just have if you just have a positive mindset.
Would you like to invest?
If you want to, do you want to invest in being fucked up?
God, Good.
Buy a book, good book. No, but it's kind of that thing. It's a blanket stuff. It's like to crypto bros stuff. It's like just have a positive mindset and good things will come to you. If you manifest good stuff happens.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
That sounds like some hippie bull dust
Yeah,
I
but
found
it's
on
kinda like-
Instagram.
It's this kind of thing now. It's like, no, if you work hard, then things happen like good. I'm like, to a lot of people that work hard, it's sort of like, maybe you're benefiting from privilege and nepotism or something. Like, I'm over that.
Capitalism.
But yeah, that's the kind of the vibe I was getting. There wasn't any. If it started going when I was a small AI, daddy AI, cousin dad AI, that's called a callback.
I guess your point though is why I'm not super worried about AI taking from actual artists. Well, no, sorry. There's going to be a huge influx of terrible, mediocre art, as we have already seen with like digital AI visual art. Though some of it's also really good, so that's kind of hard to figure out. But people like stuff made by people. And you can, I guess there'll be certain cases where you can't tell the difference. But I think this is why I think like things like Patreon and stuff like that exist, because there's always amazing free art out there. Beautiful, incredible, amazing free art out there on Instagram. And visual art's a good example. But then once you follow an artist for a little bit, you get to know that person. Hopefully not in a parasocial relationship. Is that the fucking word?
That is a phrase.
That is a phrase.
So,
Thank you very much. Hopefully not a parasocial relationship, but rather you still get to know that person, at least the version that they present online.
Their persona.
And so now every piece of art that you enjoy from that person is put through the filter of like, oh, I know this person to a degree. And it creates this sense of authenticity that I don't think an AI will hopefully ever be able to replicate.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to think, if we put on any night, if you go to any night, if you go to a music night, a poetry event, and everyone's just got an AI poem, you'd kind of go, this is all sounds... Like, I think we'd click, because like no one's talking... Because also it's very hard, like, it'd be very hard, or a lot harder to get emotional... I mean, I guess you can... with a poem that's written by ChatGPT.
Well, no, because I feel like if they were a new poet to the stage, and they came with an AI-written poem, we wouldn't know. No one would know.
Yeah.
And that actually bothers me a little bit, because I feel like, okay, so you went to the effort to go online and get some help, but where's the heart, the soul, the sweat, the blood, the tears, and this is just coming from me who writes, and it's a hard... It's hard yakko. Aussie. I just did the quotation marks, hard Aussie shit for me to write. But we wouldn't know if it was a new poet to the stage that they're using AI.
True. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to
Which they can, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we put up a sign that says no AI. No AI. Oh my god.
Wait, is there a sign?
No, E-I-E-I-O.
No. A-E-I-O-U.
They're consonant.
Well, so that
Vowels.
that
Not consonants.
That's my mum's name.
you said you don't always enjoy the process of writing.
No.
So why write? And that's not a loaded question. I think it's going to come around.
Yeah, no. So I've been writing since primary school, and I was always quite good at it, but I didn't realise it. And quite often the teachers would put my work up like in the staff room.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then for some reason I was just like, it's not good enough, I need to stop. And I stopped for over a decade. I was like, whatever I write is not good enough. And the only reason I started writing again is because a lot of people in my life had passed away, and I had to do tributes, eulogies, all that sort of thing. So I started writing again, and I was like, oh, these are quite good. And not only did I think they were good, other people did as well. And then I had a friend over a year ago now introduce me to, back when Radio Talk was Talking Blue on Chapel Street. R.I.P. They introduced me to this night, and I was listening to other people, and I was like, maybe I could start writing again. And I did one of the times when I was in a psych ward, because there's nothing else to do. other than just stare into the void and write. So I started writing again, and that was one of the first pieces I ever performed. It was one of the ones I wrote when I was in a psych ward. And I was like, I quite enjoy this. It's, and for me, it's insufferable for like performing, because the minute I get behind a mic, not right now, but like in front of people, I freeze up and I freak out. However, it's like almost like a safe risk-taking behavior, because it feels, it feels scary, right? But nothing bad is going to happen. Nothing, no harm is going to come to you physically or mentally from performing. However, for me, it's risky speaking in front of people, because it's scary, because I don't like public speaking. And so after I did the first time, I was like, I'm going to keep doing it. So I've done it as much as I can when I'm not in the psych ward. And that's why I've kept going. And writing, sometimes I generally write only when I feel inspired by something. If I sit down and go, I need to write something, nothing going to come. Maybe a line. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. But like when and you've heard most of my poetry, it's about stuff with a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion. Maybe it's helped me process some stuff. No, not maybe. I think it has. I think it has helped me process a lot of shit. And then I perform it, and then I'm completely blinded to the feedback I get, honestly.
Right.
Because when I get up, I'm very freaked out. And then when I step off, I'm completely freaked out, and then people might come up to me afterward and be like, hey, I really resonated with that, and I will be completely shut off still because I'm freaked out, because I was like, I was just on a stage. But then there's almost this feeling of like release or freedom, that you just did a piece that was your own in front of people, and they felt it, and that's what makes the community, I feel. Like 100%.
And it also speaks to the true. This was kind of perfect, because that's why I was hoping you would go with this. Is I think that's hitting.
I fell into your trap. Okay.
Hitting the real kind of the real reason to create. Because if someone walked up there with an AI poem, and then they walk off stage, and maybe they would get that praise. If you're just farming praise, I guess it's because it's like the monetization and the commodification of art in general. It's like, well, even saying that, like, you only create when inspired. Well, a lot of artists, I've done this as well, where I have to create every single fucking day and put it out every single fucking day. Otherwise, my brain goes, oh God, I'm not part of the system.
I'm not part of the algorithm.
I'm not feeding the algorithm. Yeah. And I think that's where AI art is. That's what it's there for. It's there to just push out just content. Yeah. But humanity doesn't create content.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking of positive kind of with an AI poem is, what you're saying is like, if someone new's come and you don't know, it could be a way if someone's like, I don't know how to write poetry, but I want to get up in front of a mic, so I just did one first. Yeah. And I want it, because we've had many people come and I've gone, oh, are you here to perform? Like, oh, no, I just want to check out the vibe and stuff. I might do a poem one day, and then 2 weeks later they're back with a poem, which I'm like, fair enough. But yeah, it could be, it's not that it's happened, but the only thing I can think of is someone, I don't know how to write, what to write. I just want to be able to, yes?
I have such a good idea. Get an old-fashioned like Mac computer, like one of the boxes, one of the old green boxes.
I had one, yep.
And have one of those printers that like, I can't do the sound, like really slow printing and that juddery kind of sound. And have that set up in the corner, and like a green neon kind of glow coming off the screen. Like, oh, you haven't got a poem? You wanted it still ready? We can do it.
Well, I think those old Macs, they had a version of AI. It was called like Eli or something. My friend had it was Eli, and you'd ask it questions, and it would be like, answer back. But it was always very generic. But I think it was called Eli.
The only thing I remember from that is like, and I think I spoke to you, Rye, about it, was like the movie AI. With Jude Law and the kid from The Sixth Sense and whatever. So like that was my first experience with AI. But after that movie came out, they on the website had on like the movie website had an AI bot you could chat to. I love that. Yeah, and I was in primary school and I was like, I'm gonna chat to this AI bot, and my teachers were like, no, like stop it, because I was like hella inappropriate because it's me.
Oh yeah, everyone's doing that.
Oh yeah, and they're like, no, Izzy, stop it. And that was my first experience with AI. I'm like, I'm chatting to something that's a robot and it's responding to me. But if you think about it, Siri is the same. Alexa is the same. They're all the same.
Yeah.
You can be a smart ass to Siri and she will respond accordingly.
I like how they've had to develop Siri, because people have obviously gone, hey Siri, and then say something, and then Siri doesn't know what to do, and they're like, we're going to have to program Siri to be able to respond to all the bullshit. And I'm like, I kind of like that, but also I'm like...
like what's like 0 divided by 0, and then Siri has been a smart ass bitch in response, essentially.
The smart ass bitch code, I think I read about that,
Well, even the term AI is highly inappropriate for what the actual thing is, because it's just regurgitating things that already exist. There's no intelligence behind it. The connections it's making are learned, but it doesn't understand.
That's the point. It's artificial.
Yeah,
it is so artificial, and that's not like, I know we're gearing toward that in life. Yeah, but we're the most connected society ever in the world, all the world actually at the moment, but we're not even connected anymore. It's making us less connected. Yeah. So therefore it is artificial. Yeah. It's not real. Like connections, when I meet people here, this is real. Online, I can meet people online, that's fine. It's not real. Yeah.
Now I'm just thinking of radio talk and VR.
Oh wait, I'll put a headset on. But yeah, no, it's like we're so developed, but we're so far apart from one another. And what's the point?
I feel like these. I feel like the same with because it's an extension of social media in a sense. Like I feel like social media is designed. Obviously, it's designed to farm your attention because it's just selling you ads. That's all it's doing.
Oh, the targeted ads. Yeah. Oh my god!
It's just selling advertising.
You look at one thing and then it's like, oh, you like that? Let's just give you all the things.
Oh my god! They heard me say IBS once, and now everything on every social media platform is like, hey, I know how to help your IBS. Yeah. I'm like, oh damn.
Just one googling of bird tits, and that's
yeah, true.
Wait, like bird or like female bird?
I realise that. Yeah.
Shut
Moving on,
It's just it's designed to farm your attention and then to sell you as the product, because it's just selling your data to other companies and stuff like that. That's not a revolutionary idea. But I think AI is just a continuation of that process of, especially in the art world, is again, I'm going to use the word commodifying everything. Everything can be sold as a product and monetized. Yes. Even if we aren't making money off our art that we're putting out there, it's still going into the algorithm and feeding it and becoming part of the system that is just generating money off us, off our existence and our concentration on one particular app. So I'm intrigued by like the demonization of AI now, and I find that the same with demonization of social media is because I don't think those things inherently are evil. Those things are being designed currently to be evil. They're being used
what people
for evil.
use them for is evil.
It's late stage capitalism, baby. That's all it fucking is. That's all it fucking is. If we're going to take these, because AI is a great tool. It's a great fucking tool. I've used it for a couple of things. Last week's blog post, this week? I know when you hear it. Last week's blog post, I wrote, hey, write me a blog post about running events and like kind of what that would be like, right? And then I read it and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And I used like maybe one idea from it, but it was there, and that way, instead of like staring at the blank page and thinking, okay, I gotta write a blog post about running events, I generated a bunch of content and Okay, cool. That actually makes me think of what I would write, and then I flipped it into and then I actually put my own thing into it. So it's not written by AI in the sense, but it is.
Let me reiterate that. No AI at all. No.
Not in the slightest, but it's a great tool to start something, and maybe even poetry. Maybe even starting poetry. I did it with my album as well. I wrote a couple of lines, and I don't really like that, and I fed them back in and say, "Can you just like spit these back out in like various formats?" And
I
change things
never
up
thought of that. Like
It's
you, yeah. So you've now shown me AI in now a more positive light to me.
Yeah. I mean,
I never, because I've never used it, but now my brain's like, what can I do with it?
Yeah.
Maybe I could write another eulogy if I have to with it.
At least start it.
But
Yeah.
like, so you've shown me this in a more positive light without it taking away from your authenticity and your writing capabilities and everything. So that actually sways my view on it a little. And I also don't think, on the same note, I don't think social media is a demon. Like I have family from all across the world. And without social media, I probably wouldn't be able to stay in touch with them. Do I want to? I don't know. That's a different story.
Next time to delve into family trauma.
But
Brother, dad,
ooh.
I saw my dad last night. We can talk about that.
Tasmania. No, but in Europe and stuff like that. Like, if I didn't have social media, I probably wouldn't be able to stay in contact with these people. So I don't think social media is like a bad thing. I do feel like maybe sometimes it takes away from, being able to catch up with a friend for coffee. Like, because we all say we're going to catch up on this day, and then someone cancels.
Yeah.
And it never ends up happening. So I do feel like sometimes it takes away from like the face-to-face interactions, but I don't think it's inherently like a bad thing.
Yeah.
And apparently now AI is not, because you've shown me a different view.
But it can be a bad thing.
well, I
It can be a
mean,
terrible
to
thing.
avoid that kind of thing, I just stopped having friends.
What, did you
Did you
start
have
with-
any in
yeah.
the first place? Ryan and I are on the same page.
Listen, there was my sister, brother, and
My daddy, mummy.
and my cousin Pet. But sorry, also when I said chicken tit before, I meant I was looking up recipes for so bird tits. I meant I was looking up recipes for chicken breasts.
Yeah.
Sure.
good,
Yep.
good.
Yep. Sure.
I've been sitting on the joke for like 10 minutes. Can you all shut the fuck up so I can say it, please? No context, but I just need to say that. But yeah, no, I talk about AI and what you're feeding into it. I don't quite do that, but I'll be listening to podcasts. So I listen to one like called Off Menu, and Ed Gamble and James Acaster, two comedians. So I'll have someone on, could be a comedian, could be a chef and stuff, and it's like, what's your ideal meal? Starter, main, side, and dessert, and drink.
Yep.
But from anywhere, anything you've had from any era, if they don't even make it anymore, what do you want?
Mine is just 3 pints of beer.
Yeah. Well, someone yesterday,
same.
their dessert was a glass of whiskey.
Yeah,
And they had I don't know if I've talked about this before, but there was a chef on early on, and he lost like 12 stone, whatever that is in kilos. And so he used to drink a lot. And so he was like, my drink is 24 cans of Stella in one of the beer hats.
Okay.
And because James Acaster is the waiter and he's a genie in the whole thing. And so he's like, well, I can make a big Stetson and put all the cans. He's like, yes, I want 24 cans of Stella as my drink. And I'm like, but anyway, so I was listening to, my point is, I'll listen to podcasts and stuff, and I'll just hear something. If I'm writing, I'll just hear a word. Yeah. And I was like, I'll write that in. If I'm on a train, to know, just because I'm on a train, because I like trains.
Train to nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, this sounds more poetic than I was meant to. So I was thinking of the Journey song on a midnight train. Go.
Yeah, no, I know. They got it.
Yeah, so I'll just write like a word or two in the notebook, and then I'll have my other notebook later, and then I'm like, okay, I can get stuff like that. Not quite the same thing as AI, but I was listening to a podcast, or if I listen to a song, if I'm listening to music, I'll hear like a phrase, and I'll write something that I haven't copied the phrase, I haven't copied the lyrics. I'm like, that lyric made me think of something else.
Yeah, but is that not just being inspired by anything?
Maybe.
I think it is.
Okay. Well then, whatever.
I can. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to shut you down. No, but like I can listen to a song. I don't really listen to podcasts. I can listen to a cooking show, TV. I could listen to the lovely people here. I could listen to my partner having a silk on the phone to his mum. I could have. I could listen to anything, and I could grab inspiration, a word, even even one word or a sound even, because I'm trying to write music as well, because I do sing as well. I could grab anything from anything, and that's just inspiration. That's not AI, I don't think.
Oh no, I wasn't going down the AI thing. I was just sort of more like.
Oh no, but we're meant to be talking about AI.
Hey, the podcast is chaos.
I am very good at sticking to topics.
We can go in any direction.
I am very good at just
So
going
am
down
I, apparently,
narrow,
but too good.
I very much,
But I feel like that's just inspiration. It's like I've heard people do poetry about a bird they saw or a tree they saw. And so they were just looking out their window and they saw some stuff and they're like, inspiration, here's some stuff.
So what are we feeling about, like, if people like using AI just for inspiration over just like going, okay, I wrote a poem, song, whatever, wrote a script, a movie script, whatever, but the influence or the inspiration was from AI. Do you think that would be do you think people would be on board with that?
I feel like with what Rhath said, if you just use it to jog it, essentially, and then you take one thing from it and then you run with it, then it's your own. If you're using it for the whole thing, then it's fraud, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the fraud thing has been a genuine issue that people have been sued over already, like over AI visual art, where the companies are being sued because their AI is generating art that is taking pieces from other artwork. So not like recreating someone's artwork, but there's actual signatures. There's signatures that are popping up because people have fed so much of one artist's work into a thing that's like, oh, well, artwork has signatures in the bottom. I might as well put a signature down the bottom and say, hey, that's my fucking signature. What the fuck is that?
Which is surely a whole other thing if you're forging a signature as well, though, I don't know.
That's true, yeah. I think in terms of for artwork... I don't know.
Write in the comments. Write in the comments if you're a lawyer.
Nor do I care.
Do you know?
It's like
help us.
I think if you're doing that, if you're generating the full piece, the full poem, or the full visual art, it can be certainly a good exercise. And I do really enjoy, especially with visual art, like just pouring in weird shit into it and getting back. Like
I have enjoyed seeing some photos. People are like, I don't know.
Yeah, for like self-development, yes.
Yeah.
Cool, great. If you want to practice on some stuff for yourself, great. But if you're going to a public gallery, essentially, whether it's like spoken word, visual art, music, whatever, and you're regurgitating something that is completely not you, that's not... Like, it's not, like, authentic. It's not...
I think if it was, like, put forward as, like... especially if it was fucking bizarre, like it's clearly broken, and maybe that's their goal. Like if someone was to, this is maybe a creative idea of how to use it. Like you're feeding in prompts, write me a poem about the weirdest fucking shit, and it's giving you something back, and you're like, fucking, all right, sweet, that's perfect. Like the more broken it is, the funnier it is.
So that's how we got Human Centipede. But that's my point though. Like if you go to a public event and you have only AI generated stuff with very limited input from yourself, if you just put in a word or two and it spits out something, that's not you. How can you market what's not you? And how can you feel good about that?
You and I clocked the same time.
I think you'd lose interest. I think the person making it would lose interest. I think if I was generating a bunch of poems,
unless you were posting it online, you were like getting like
money.
Money, followers, everything.
My only thing is going back to the crypto space is generating bullshit, and then you can tell they don't believe in it, but it's like they're generating this AI stuff. Like, what's it called? Bored apes.
Yeah, 100%.
Bored apes. It's like generating apes, and then they managed to get celebrities to go, I bought this ape. And everyone's like, cool.
Dumb as fucking
But then
shit.
I think, a couple of YouTubers, they literally found like two copyright photos and then just put them together in Photoshop. And it's like, yeah, look, here's an elephant with butterfly wings.
100%.
And then people go into literally going, look, we found the two photos.
Yeah.
And look, I can use Photoshop for 20 minutes and bang. And they go, oh, here's original art. I'm like,
So
You amalgamated two
Yeah,
photos.
yeah.
So isn't the problem again? Like, isn't the problem not the fucking tools, but rather just the fact that, like, because if
What
it's
you do
not
with them,
if it's
yeah.
not that, then you're selling weird like multi-level marketing scheme juices to people and saying like, this is gonna fucking change your life if you start drinking my juice, and then
Would you like a pyramid scheme? Yes.
exactly.
Reverse funnel. Yeah.
What was it like? Fools and their money are easily parted. I think
Oh, I like that.
that
Oh,
kind of
thank you. I'll take that home with me.
That was Aristotle, I think.
I think
said
yeah,
that.
it's an old.
No, it's Rye, apparently.
It's an old saying. So I think like always the concern with this kind of shit is like, AI art is going to take away money from actual artists that want to
100% it
try
will.
and pay the bills, which is a valid fucking concern. I fully back that argument. My only thing with that is I don't want that to be the reason I create art.
It's also not just the money, though.
Yeah.
Like I crochet, I do collages, I write poetry, I write stories, and I don't, unless I sell my crochet and stuff like to people I know, I don't get paid for shit.
Yep.
So it's not just the idea of someone taking money from me, because I'm not at the level where I can be making a bunch of money for whatever. I am on OnlyFans, but no. So
Do you want link in description?
maybe. But it's not just that. It's just the authenticity. Like, if I come here and I put all my anxieties aside and get behind a microphone and pour my heart and soul out with something that, as I said before, took me agonizingly a long time to write and not enjoyably, and then there's someone taking away from that who can easily just generate some bullshit because they've put in a few words. If it's for yourself, for self-development, great.
Yeah.
And if it's for your first time performing, great, or showing your art, whatever, great. But if you keep doing that, it takes away from the people that actually put a lot of effort and heart and soul into their passion.
Definitely.
Really.
Definitely.
It's not just monetary. It's not.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough one, though, because I said we're like, you see people that don't seem not to put a lot of effort into certain things and doing really well for themselves.
The Stephen Bradbury of life.
Oh, I do
where
like
they,
that. Yeah.
they just keep going and
Bradbury.
everyone just keeps falling
the
down.
speed skater in the semi-final, he was dead last by a long by a
But
long
everyone
shot.
else fell
Fell
down.
over.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
I've
and
seen
he
that, yeah.
And then in the
fucking
final,
won.
he was way behind.
So that's my
Yeah.
analogy for people that seem to
Stephen
just
Bradbury
skate.
life.
Yeah.
Seem to skate through life doing the bare bloody minimum, but keep getting through and getting praises for doing fucking nothing. Really?
I mean, if you want to
like
use
a CEO.
if you want to use
Yeah.
I mean, let's like look at the amount of effort you and I put in for Vibe Union. We do the blog, we do the podcast.
Yeah.
We do other things.
Yeah.
I put oil in my beard tonight to look pretty.
The light shining
I
through
made
it.
beard oil for
Can
my
you-
partner.
can
I
you
made
tell-
it from
Which
scratch.
one-
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
where am I
It's
talking?
it's so shiny.
Yeah, that's fucking
Gee,
beautiful.
it's so
Yeah, no,
shiny.
I'm a shiny boy.
Yeah.
I'm a shiny boy.
But, yeah, so like-
Brother, sister, uncle, cousin.
But it's always like, so we get, I mean, sometimes people say how good job we're doing, but for the amount of effort that we put in,
Oh,
it seems
100%.
to,
Fuck all.
give us money on
Yeah.
Patreon.
So how
But,
would
yeah.
how would you like it if someone created a collective
Yeah.
based only on AI? How would you feel about
I will
that?
burn shit to the ground.
That's
guess-
arson,
I
Jason.
guess, I would be furious. I'd be really disappointed, but I'd just be more disappointed in the people buying into it. Same with like the Bored
Yeah.
Apes. It's like, you're a fucking piece of shit for making that thing, for making NFTs in general. I did sell a few.
I was going to say, I remember back when they first come out, you were right into it. I remember
felt
that.
weird about it the whole time. I was like, I'm gonna.
You didn't feel weird when he told us all how much money he made, was it?
I fucking did. I said like I feel weird that people actually bought my fucking music. It was bizarre. I know
bizarre.
from going in and then retracting because I was like, this is fucking stupid. What's my fucking point? My fucking point is that
You'd be annoyed at the people buying into the AI.
yeah. Like
Spaces.
there's gonna be dumb, evil people that make this shit. and or abuse a tool in order to make a bunch of fucking money.
But
and
they
fuck those
may
people.
not necessarily all be evil, though. That's
It's a lot easier for me if I believe that they are, though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but they may just be like legitimately wanting to create stuff and not have like any sort of malevolent content, like or feeling behind it.
Well, again, do you think? I think they get bored.
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be the fact that because I said a certain generation now is. I mean, I'm only 18, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I
much
ate my
younger than me.
I ate my
Sure,
vegetables, so that's all we had.
All the
That's all we
broccolis.
had back in Tasmania, just farmland.
No, but no iodine apparently.
Yeah, all that just ate the shit out of iodine. We had iodine trees everywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I see like younger people growing up that's all it is online.
Yeah.
So you're going to have people that going, okay, well, that's all they know. That's all that I kind of consume. Because you're going to have young crypto bros who are only going, oh, Daddy Tate is now being arrested, but like they might
And charged.
get charged. So the
Fucking
brother,
yeah,
Yup.
motherfuckers.
shout out to
That-
the Tates.
That
cunts.
scares the shit out of me, though.
Yeah, but
that
like that's all
there's-
they know, and they're gonna just go, well, what's wrong with this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
but
wrong
that
with this?
scares the shit
Oh,
out of me.
yeah,
that
yeah.
there's a whole generation of up and comers in whatever industry that are going to be using AI only, like purely,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
for
yeah.
inspiration,
Yeah.
not for a
Yeah, yeah,
word,
yeah.
not for that
That's-
scares me. Because how authentic is any creative going to be from now on?
The only thing I'm thinking of is going to be very difficult to. I mean, I guess I have holograms of dead performers and stuff, but I'm like, could you like an MC of a night? I don't know. Like it's sort of. Otherwise, you're just going to have. Yeah, it sort of seems that someone has to press a button somewhere or do something. So I don't know. It's still horrible to have like a holographic MC.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of me in holographic form. That's terrifying.
I would make it slightly smaller so we're closer to the same height.
Without you having to like lift the microphone thingy all the way up.
Can you
like,
code? Can you
6
code the
stories.
amount of chaos? And I don't know.
Just mashing
HDMI.
keys.
Wait, no. To be fair though, like back when we were children, I don't know if we're similar in age, but like when we had MySpace, we had to HTML code shit way
yeah,
before
yeah,
our
yeah.
time.
True.
But we learned how to do that, and we did it, and we could only have 8 top friends.
I was just thinking that always
Yeah.
that always broke my heart. That always
Yeah.
broke my
and I
heart.
was like, "No, you pissed me off. You can go down
And I
a
go,
couple
"Why
of
did you-
numbers."
Why'd you move that? I was
Dangerous
just
feature.
changing up.
Yeah, but I need to change the background and the song and the this and the
Yeah.
that. And we became coders.
Yeah.
And then we got Facebook and then we got lazy.
Yeah. I just remember because I used to have view counts on your profile, and so I just every near November, December, I just changed my name to Santa and put a Santa picture up, and then my views would go up a lot more because like, who the fuck is this? That was the only reason I did it because I wanted that
Brilliant.
validation.
Oh, that is so smart.
I wanted that
good.
because I was like, oh, that motherfucker's getting more because I'm like, I know they're prettier and more attractive than me, but I want the only way I can do it is to use a stock Santa picture of Santa and think of Santa, and then
But
yeah.
you could be a red-headed Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Tasmania.
I think that just as I say that the creators will get bored. I mean, so there's going to be a lot of AI garbage that we're about to see.
Yeah.
We're about to see a massive wave. Probably maybe
I
for the
want
next
to move
5
to
years.
Antarctica now.
It's gonna
But
be
apparently there's like weird
scary.
aliens there, so it's
oh, great.
yeah.
But I think just as the creators will get bored, I mean, for things like just random YouTube content and bullshit, it's gonna be huge, and very monetarily beneficial for them. But fuck it, I think there's gonna be a huge wave of that shit. But I think the true creators, people who are actual artists, will get very, very bored very, very quickly because you create art actually more for the process than the final product. And second of all, I think people will also get bored. The audience will be seeking
There'll be
out
such a saturation of it.
Exactly.
You're gonna get even more people going. Check out the links in my description for the top quick way to get AI stuff, and it's just going to be. There's not going to be any profit from. You
Yeah.
can't even swindle people because there's so many people swindling.
Yes, exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, it's the same as the online telemarketers. Their demographics now are dying. Literally, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that, but I'm like, yeah. But the
See
demographic
ya.
is leaving this realm for a
Yeah.
better place. That kind of thing. So the scams are getting more elaborate. Like
Yeah.
the books, the good books buy books got delivered the other day,
Yeah.
yesterday, and I got a message before they delivered, your parcel is being reverted back to the depot.
I get those all the
depot,
time.
click this to record.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Rye hasn't said anything. So, but yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the demographic that's figuring that, I mean, I've had so many AI calls like, you were being investigated by the FBI.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm in Australia. So
the taxation office, fucking Telstra, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. The tolls. I don't know.
linked, yep.
Yeah.
Don't drive.
Going back to the creative process, just for 1 second, you said a lot of artists do it for the creative process, and I said I struggle with the creative process. For my own work, my creative process is like I struggle with it and then I'm okay with it. And it's sort of like, and I haven't had children and I'm sorry to those who have. I feel really bad for you. But it's like struggling through pregnancy and then all of a sudden giving birth and falling in love with something. So that's my creative process. It fucking sucks.
Good analogy.
Yeah, it fucking sucks when you're doing it.
Yeah,
but then when you've got it at the end, it's amazing. And so...
Isn't it amazing because of the struggle though?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. Thank you, my new psychiatrist. I don't need to pay anyone any more money. But that's...
Maybe we should charge. Maybe we should start.
No, please don't.
Just join our Patreon.
I can't afford you guys. But that's the point. Like, how are you going to get that when you're just generating shit
That's
online?
my point.
But that's up
my
to people
point.
if they want to do that. Like it's...
Well, because like saying like you do it for the process doesn't mean you actually enjoy the process.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's I think it's really important that like you use it as a processing mechanism.
Yeah.
But I think some
as a
people
lot
are
of people
stuck
do.
in that, like a sunken cost fallacy. They're like, I'm writing, like talking about Gary Vee and shit. I'm stuck in this. Like I've told people I swallow gum because I don't have enough time to throw it in the bin and stuff. And that kind of thing. They're stuck in it. So like,
lunatic.
what do we do now?
Yeah.
There's these other people doing, because he's in his 50s now. He's like, there's 20-year-olds. Yeah, they see those 20-year-old Nepo boys are just like rich parents are like, well, if you don't have a Lambo by 25, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Oh, I've really fucked up.
And then, then it cuts into another white boy with a podcast.
Yeah.
Jim Bro.
You guys, sorry.
Yeah. 100%.
100%.
Luckily, we're just both broke.
If you can't overwhelm me, then you can't tell me what to do. I think that was one of the things, one of these crypto bros. But yeah, so they're stuck now. They can't go back on it because they've been so adamant about it. So, and they're going, well, everyone else is doing it. Shit, what do we do? And so they have to elevate it more, and it's going to get to a point of ridiculousness. And they go, oh, no, you buy it.
We'll just leave them behind.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to leave them behind. They're going to make a lot of money really quickly.
Though?
We will.
No, but
like as a society,
well, they're going to see the older guy, the people, some people that have started something, they're going to keep trying to get into it and they're going to have to try to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And you're going to go, well, hang on, you're doing the same thing as that, but that's so stupid. And people are going to start, I don't know.
But have you listened to music on the radio these days?
Not really.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Because like people are buying into absolute fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse.
But there are so many. I think Patreon's a great example of like a space that came up that was like, hey, do you actually want to support real creators? Then here's a chance to do so. And many people.
They have
really,
a Patreon. Subscribe.
Yeah, we do have a Patreon. Please subscribe. But people like people. And I think people will continue to support. Look, and yes, no, I actually agree with you though. Yeah, it's going to get a lot worse, and there's just a lot of dumb people. There's just a lot of dumb people that aren't thinking that much about.
There's just a lot of people,
consuming.
really.
And these tools are going to be used for the wrong purposes. But I think.
Yeah, especially have
I'm
you been to
hoping.
Coles
Actually,
or
I don't know.
Woolworths checkouts?
I don't know if I think, but I'm hoping in the long run, people will side with other people. And
I
just
feel
want-
like
and
we'll
want real
end
shit.
up reverting back to olden day shit.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like is going to happen. We're going to get sick of it to a point and we're going to end up going backward.
Yeah.
Just like scrunchies came back and butterfly clips and jelly sandals and
sandals.
Yeah.
leopard print. And the shit's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's going to go full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for being ruled over by feudal lords. That's fine.
We just need we just need capitalism to collapse. We do need to wrap it up.
Just like capitalism needs to wrap itself. I don't know. I tried.
The book is. I swear to God, the link is in the description. It will be posted. I guess we'll post a blog post about. I don't know. Whatever.
What's my
Links
turn? So we'll see what
in
happens.
description. If you like what we do, check us out on Patreon. you throw us a few bucks, we can keep doing what we do because we got to pay for a fucking website. We got to buy more copies of this book. We got to do a bunch
And
of other shit.
I need a place to let my shit out. So please
We need to
help
keep
us
doing
out.
this.
We need places to let our shit out.
No obligation. No obligation. Just like
I
and
will
comment.
find you. No.
We need the Futurama Hypnotoad and just be like,
yeah. Please comments. We need more comments. What do you want us to talk about? You like the episode? You want to be on it? Yeah, come on down. That's an open invite to anyone. Jason, anything to say?
music by Sixpence.
Music by Sixpence. Is your last name redacted? Anything to say? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just thank you
Your
for
new
having me.
NFT series?
Bitcoin. No, thank you for having me. This was amazing. And yeah, I'm super stoked for the book release later tonight. And please buy it.
Yeah, bye.
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 Just
Bye.
a
Bye.
We good?
We're
think
bots
so.
now. Bye.
Yeah, I'm a sex bot.
Sex
Yeah,
bot.
I'm a sex
Oh,
bot. Yeah.
please back.
Izzy, thanks for coming on. You're a legend.
Thank you.
Music by Sixpence. We already did that.
We already did that.
That's how we end it. Bye.